the second of our international bouts here tonight. Fighting out of the blue corner, weighing in at 76 kilos, with a fight record of 80 fights, 55 wins, from the Sipholek gym in Thailand, Lenard Sipholek.
Lenard Sipholek set to take on a former WMC world champion, Big Wazza.
Weighing in at 76 kilos, 80 fights, 70 wins, from the Sunshine Coast Thai Boxing Centre, Elson.
And another Australia versus Thailand contest, super middleweight, full Thai rules, 5x3. JW, third man, he's centering.
Stop. Okay, stop the action, step back. Besides that, touch gloves, guys, have a good fight.
It's a very dark Thai hammer, Lenard Sipholek.
Lenard Sipholek versus Warren Elson.
I think one of his parents is in fact not Thai, but he's obviously been brought up in Thailand. Lenard.
Round one.
Here we go, first round of 5. And it's very rare we see a fighter who matches Warren Elson for height.
It is.
Certainly Lenard Sipholek, the man they call Meow in the blue and white, not far off it.
The 76 kilo weight division, and of course Warren Elson also campaigning for a WMC world title in that weight division. He's going to have to do a fairly convincing job here tonight to get back on into the ranks. Of course, he fought Eugene Eichelboom on the Sunshine Coast a little while back, and Warren got the win over Eugene from Perth. But, from all accounts, a bit of controversy over that one, but two of Australia's finest in that weight division. Of course, Eugene, a champion, a world champion in his own right. It was a non-title fight, however, just one for the crowd on the sunny coast, put on by Joe Hilton and the crew.
All tied up. Warren Elson is a master of the knees, but as I said, usually against much shorter opponents, so it'll be interesting to see if he can pull down the head and work his trademark knee to the jaw here on a very tall Lenard Sipholek.
This fight sponsored by Massa Gym on the Gold Coast. Massa Muay Thai Gym, from beginners to fighters, and all the extreme fitness stuff. They're doing it down there at Massa, so big hello to all the crew down there. Getting behind the fights and all the other sponsors, Brisbane247.com.au, Staunch, DNA, and of course Sayang Jewellery. And not forgetting Masashi, the major sponsor of the main event coming up after this one.
Lenard Sipholek from the Sipholek Gym in Thailand. He's a southpaw fighter, so the power will be coming off the left side of the body for him. Will certainly be negated though if they're going to work the clinch, which is obviously the game plan here of Warren Elson. Well, isn't a bad fighter on the outside either. I remember one of the biggest wins early in his career, hammer at Sky City, and Star City, I should say, in Sydney, where he defeated Gurkhan Ozkan. Remember those days? Big turning point in the career then.
That was a kickboxing fight,
yes,
of course.
the same night that John Horford defeated Prince Amir.
Oh,
big
stellar
turning
years.
point.
That
Yes.
just makes us sound a little bit old. Of course, what is it, our 10th year of doing this?
10th year, hammer.
10 years I've been sitting
96 we began.
sitting ringside with you, struggling for space because you take up too much room.
10 years, going strong.
And of course, Fox Sports, your sport leader, has been behind the sport of kickboxing and Muay Thai from the start. From the very start, as Tarek Solek says, been with us from the start.
You know, it's been estimated, Hammer, that between us we've called over the last 10 years about 3,000 fights.
It's a lot of fights.
3,000 fights.
How many punch and kicks would that be?
That's unbelievable. There we go, end of round 1, we go to the towels.
And a bit of a slow burner to start with this one, but letting some elbows, some turning elbows fly indeed in the first round. Warren Wazza really needs to make an impression over Lenard Sipholek. Sipholek is a very experienced campaigner, landing the short right hand. Sipholek tying up, and you know what, Michael, as you said, it is very different for Warren to be matched evenly for height and reach. And Sipholek is matching him in that department, so Wazza's going to have to change his game plan, because usually he leans down on all his opponents and goes to work with the knee strikes up to the face, but it's going to be harder work for him against this Thai opponent.
Still to come here tonight, folks, our main event, Bruce the Preacher McPhee taking on One Lop in that WMC middleweight world title eliminator. The winner will get a crack at the WMC title later this year.
And there's a beautiful spinning takedown there by Lenard. And he's matching it in the grapple with the Aussie Wazza.
Why do they call him Meow? Huh? Does he have an affinity for cats? What is that? What's with the meow?
I think it's a Thai thing. I don't know. You know, they have these names.
Rambo, Fanta, Meow.
There's probably Thais. There's probably Thais going, Hammer. What is that?
What is Hammer?
Why is he named after an apparatus to bang in nails? What is that?
Ooh, nice evasion of the hook there from Warren Elson. You just think, Hammer, over the last 10 years, some of the fights we've seen and some of the fights we've called, and your mind starts to wander between the old generation and the new generation, and I've got a matchup for you I'll throw out here. What if we were to put Warren Elson at his peak against the hitman Anthony Vella at his peak?
Oh, that would be an interesting affair, certainly. Because both fighters actually would have the same fight style.
Both knee specialists.
Vella would love to get in the grapple and knee.
Yep.
But of course, height and reach, again, you know, was in that weight division, height and reach. You've got to maybe lean a little his way. But I'll tell you what, you have to hit Anthony Vella with a proverbial semi-trailer to stop him. Because we've seen Ant, the hitman, seen him going to war a number of times and, you know, not being stopped. I think the only person that stopped Vella was... Briggsy.
First time we ever commentated in Queensland, Hammer, the Brisbane Festival Hall.
The Hurricane.
Yes.
Paul Briggs actually got a little bit insulted that Vella even challenged him. And you can read about that in Briggs's book. But Briggs now, of course, it's only a matter of time before he gets a world title, boxing style. And Briggsy, of course, a very close friend and counterpart of John Wayne Parr, third man in centre ring.
Interestingly, Hammer, the first fight you and I ever commentated together, which was a non-Fox Sports show, I should say, was at the Dallas Brooks Hall, and Paul Briggs was the main event against Gurkhan Ozkan.
Well, yes.
So there you go.
Probably a fight that Briggsy wouldn't want to forget, I'd say, that one.
Yeah, second round KO for Gurkhan. Meanwhile, here in centering, good hand combination there from Meow. Lenard Sipholek.
And working the inside thigh as well. He's switching now, Lenard. And they tangle up. And it's that grappling stuff where the tight inside thigh knees can do the damage. And, of course, to the outside. But Warren, from the outside, he's got those long legs. He's got those long arms. I'd like to see him work at range a bit more. And you want to think that probably Wazza can change his fight style so that his opponents perhaps don't work him out. There's the beautiful twisting takedown from Lenard Sipholek. And of course, that was what did the damage in that previous fight with Daddy Cool, where he twisted his Thai opponent down and landed on top of him, and that did a lot of damage to start his demise. But at range, they're bombing with the hands. With a high head kick, Lenard lands it nicely, and have a look at him. He's very composed indeed, Lenard Sipholek. And certainly is going to have his work cut out for him with this one.
Here we go, round 3 of 5, super middleweight contest, Australia versus Thailand. Good inside leg check there from the southpaw, Lenard Meow Sipholek. And Wazza going back to where he's most comfortable, just sitting in the clinch and trying to work the knees of Sipholek. We haven't seen a lot of elbows thrown so far, so hopefully Big Waz will open up with some of the razor elbows in this round. Good parry of the kick there from Wazza. Ties him up in centre ring. Should have gone the round kick off the lead leg then, Sipholek.
You saw him actually look for it, and he was about to take it, but wasn't just getting out of the way. Using the push kick well, Sipholek, in a big rear hand.
Tied up. Sipholek shrugs him off, trying to get a little bit of distance to throw the rear leg round kick off the left. Slams in the outside thigh kick as Wazza, ties him up again, leans down on Sipholek.
Stop, guys, stop.
Well, there's some great fights coming up in June, so keep your eye on the tally guides for the June shows. J&I Promotions from the Hurstville Civic Centre, Thai Boxing from Sydney, and of course the Jab Out Promotions Sydney Super Show with Chris Chrisopoulides, Jason Suddy, Jason Tramsek, and a cast of thousands, that one, the Sydney Super Show. Keep an eye out in the tally guides in June for that one.
Well, Jason's in a furniture shop, Hammer.
Okay.
Front kick there from Sipholek.
Only you could think of something like that. And of course, more Battleground WMC style coming up as well. So a festival of fighting coming up on Fox Sports.
High knee from Sipholek, trying to work the upper right rib cage of Warren Elson. Ooh, spinning back elbow there from Elson. Very sloppy though. Straight into the grapple again. A lot of grappling in this one. It's not the most riveting of fights to watch, Hammer.
Well, it is a bit of a slow burner and a real chess game. If both men thinking they can dominate in the grapple and perhaps get a knee knockout, but it's not going to come. And perhaps I'd like to see the Aussie revert to working on the outside. He could maybe adapt even to some sort of a K1 sort of rules type fight style where you pepper from the outside, use the long range knees, and just try and rack up the points that way. Because in the grapple, Lenard Sipholek is very proficient indeed, and he's matching the Aussie all the way. So
I have to agree, Hammer. Why wouldn't you just play it a distance game and just work the points that way?
Work the points, because on the grapple, have a look. They grapple up yet again. Was it tries for the spinning elbow, but Lenard straight onto him and able to negate what he's doing and answer, in fact, and get some points back himself. There's the knee negation from Sipholek.
Just nullifying each other, and really Warren Elson wasting more energy than Ricky Martin's girlfriend, continually tying him up in the grapple. End of the round, Hammer.
I just can't have nothing to say. As Lenard Sipholek gets his hair pulled and throws the kick a little bit south of the border there, Lenard, but was trying for the spinning elbow, and he's looking to be in the real war zone, Warren Elson. This tie is taking it right up to Warren Elson, and in fact in some areas maybe even surpassing him. But Lenard just straight on to Warren with the knees and in the grapple. He's happy to be there. Elson, take the tie out of the comfort zone and work him at range, son. You might have a bit more luck.
Round 4 of 5. My prediction, Elson will grapple in, Hammer. There it is. Didn't take long. Straight into the grapple. They lock up.
And knee strikes from Sipholek, scoring well. Elson trying to find an opening, trying to leverage the arms of Sipholek to open up the rib cage to slam in a knee, but the tie's a little bit too crafty, a little bit too clever to allow that to happen.
Wrenches him around. Short elbow from Elson. Knees all tied up like a pretzel. It's just a mess of arms in there. They dance back into the blue corner. JW separates them. I love a good clinch, Hammer, but not too much clinching in this one. I think the Wazza really should, as he said earlier, just change the game plan and start to rally in those points from the outside here on Meow.
Well, he has had a lot of success in his fight career, Warren Elson, with the knee strikes, of course, knocking out a lot of opponents with knees to the face. You can get his legs up very high and the knee strikes can rock it up.
But certainly after 3.5 rounds of seeing how proficient Lenard Sipholek is in the grapple at negating the knees, you think to yourself, OK, let's sort of change tact here.
Yeah, work a new tactic, work a new angle. But of course, when you've been training with a certain strategy in mind for so long, it's very hard to then quickly change to, I suppose, plan B. And that may be well the case here. Warren's been fighting his fight style for so long and had so much success with it. Of course, it's not always easy to change it. Easy for us to say, as we always do, harder to do if you're the man in centre ring.
And Hammy, you had a chat earlier on with the preacher Bruce McPhee as Lenard Sipholek goes for a jumping elbow there to raise the excitement level over 1. And how's the preacher feeling in the big showdown with One-Lop? Because One-Lop's such an experienced campaigner. We've seen him on the shows from Thailand. We've seen him in Super League. He's been around forever and a day, and certainly is going to pose one of Preacher's toughest challenges.
Of course, we've seen Sipholek in the King's Cup, in which Bruce McPhee also featured in April, and tough fights. But this is really Bruce's time. I think he can really give this fight a shake-up. He's prepared, and he knows it's his time. He wants to get overseas. He wants to consolidate here. And I'll tell you what, I reckon half the people in this place are going to be right behind Bruce McPhee, and probably the other half are going to be right against him. But that's always been how Bruce fights. Controversy is never far away when Bruce McPhee's in centre ring. Like him or not, he's a true warrior, and it's only a matter of time before Bruce really gets his shot at the world title, and I think well deserved indeed.
I'll tell you what, Insomnia is never far away with this one. Just too much grappling here.
You're not a real fan of the grappling, are you, Sipholek?
I am a fan of the grappling, but this one here, there's just nothing effective from either man, to be honest. I mean, you can't sing the praises when both men are just nullifying each other in the grapple. And like I said once again, if one of these guys just said, OK, I'm going to go for something a little bit different in the next round, he could just steal the whole fight, really,
Well,
because there's been nothing in it.
Sure, and I think Sipholek's comfortable in the grapple. This is, if you go to Thailand, you go to the stadiums, you'll see a lot of fights just like this one, where they're swapping exchanges in the grapple, and the Thais absolutely love it. You know, they bet on the fights over there, and those knee strikes are counted very carefully, and the bookies are looking and everyone's looking. But this is not Thailand, of course. This is the RNA in Brisbane, and Warren Elson really needs to change his strategy to try and find an opening on Lenard Sipholek if a win is certainly going to be coming his way. Again into the grapple they slide. Negation from the knee strikes from Elson. And Wayne Parr is probably doing as much work as the fighters in centre ring on this one, keeping them apart and keeping them working.
Elson slings the inside thigh kick again, straps on the grapple in the neutral corner. Sipholek just weighing down on him, and JW breaks both men. Final round of action, still anyone's for the taking. Will it be the southpaw Meow Sipholek, or will it be Australia's own Wazza? High knee there from Sipholek. Didn't quite find the target. Elson again moves in for the grapple. Big octopus he is, Hammer, just tying him up with those tentacles of hundreds.
Well, as soon as Elson throws the grapple on Sipholek, Sipholek goes straight into knee guard position, and he's not allowing Elson to work those knee strikes that he's so looking for. And Sipholek just tying him down, keeping his hips locked in, and not letting Elson have any leverage on any good knee strikes. Again, Elson trying now to turn Sipholek and let something go. Corking away at the thighs with the close-in knee strikes. You've got to score them, but convincing, I don't know if I would say that.
I mean, you know what technique I miss seeing? It was a big technique through the early part of the 1990s.
Let me guess.
Go on, guess it.
The heel to the back of the calf muscle.
Where has it gone, Hammer? Where has it gone? Why would he just be standing there in the clinch, just on the back of the calf with the heel
Just
kick?
the heel kick. I must admit I had a little bit of success with that one.
It was a great technique, and it's gone.
Some people call it dirty, but
It's like the atomic drop in WWE. You just don't see it anymore, Hammer, and they don't do it anymore in Muay Thai, and I don't know why. It was so effective.
The corking heel kick to the back of the calf and the hamstrings. Do some damage, I can tell you. I was a fan of it myself.
Big fan. Final seconds ticking down here. Jumping knee attempt there from Lenard Sipholek.
Well, he actually affected the knee strike. It's going to score well for him, Sipholek. He's landed some good, clean strikes, Sipholek, on the outside and on the inside. And Warren Wazza really needs to do something special in the final moments.
Just like Wazza's just coasted through in one gear here, Hammer, and he really needs to go up to that next gear to try and decisively take this fight from Lenard Sipholek.
Variation could be a good game plan, up and down, fast and slow, changing direction, working the angles. But this one has been fairly one-dimensional in the grappling side of things. Again, Wayne Parr breaks him. Again, Warren comes in and locks straight in for the grapple with Sipholek.
See, even on the way in there, I'd expect Warren Elson to maybe fire a couple of jabs, sling a couple more leg kicks, then move in for the grapple. So try and get a few scores on the board, then move in for the grapple and work the knees. But end of the fifth and final round.
Well, into the fifth and final.
Wasn't the prettiest of semi-main events, Hammer. It was a gutsy one, but certainly not pretty.
Well, a real slow burner, and Lenard Sipholek just showing he can match it in the grapple well and truly with the master grappler Warren Elson tonight. And Sipholek knee guarding, just a clever game of strategy from the Thai. And it's going to be a close one on my scorecard. I'll lean slightly the way of Sipholek. We'll see how the judges score it in just a moment.
Australia versus Thailand. In a split decision.
Close one.
The winner from the blue corner.
Oh, the Thai has done it. Lenard Meow Sipholek takes a split decision over Warren Elson. And folks, when we return to the RNA Pavilion, our main event, Bruce the Preacher McPhee set to take on One Lop Sipholek, the WMC World Title Eliminator.